Biden just presents as old. It's not really fair.
No.
Because he's almost the same age. Trump is almost the same age as him.
I know.
But Trump doesn't present that way. You know, you look at somebody right away, you can kind of just sum them up. I mean, we are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
But his brain is good. He's still great.
She's a 10, but only if she works for Trump. That's the low blow Joy Behar recently hurled on national television, brushing aside Karoline Leavitt's qualifications in a single dismissive comment. In one breath, Joy reduced a successful young woman to her appearance.
Is she really a 10? We'll be right back.
Joy, I noticed Jesse was a 7.
Joy Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a sexist rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
In the next, she slammed critics of Kamala Harris's laugh as proof of misogyny. This blatant contradiction was too tempting for Bill Maher, Greg Gutfeld, and Ben Shapiro to ignore. Each took turns ripping apart Joy's logic, exposing the baffling double standard that has driven viewers into a frenzy. Yet the real story runs deeper than a single jab about someone's looks. Bill Maher has been railing against what he calls a dangerously binary approach to politics, where each side vows blind loyalty to every stance their team takes.
Is binary. You have to wear everything anyone on your side does. Republicans are the party of don't wear masks, kids in cages, lock her up, and Democrats are the party of every hypersensitive social justice warrior woke story in the news.
According to Maher, Republicans are branded as the no masks or lock her up crowd, while Democrats feel compelled to champion every woke cause that sparks an online meltdown. The situation becomes even more tangled when pundits like Joy present themselves as champions of women, only to tear down a colleague's capabilities if she's affiliated with the other party. Maher's frustration is palpable. If Karoline Leavitt had been appointed by a Democratic president, you can almost hear Joy calling her a groundbreaking force for the next generation. Greg Gutfeld wasted no time attacking Joy's remarks. He pointed out that belittling a woman by focusing solely on her appearance is precisely the kind of behavior that Joy herself condemns, unless she's the one dishing it out. Gutfeld joked that if a conservative man had talked about a female staffer's attractiveness in this way, Joy and her co-hosts would be outraged, demanding public apologies and calling it a textbook example of sexism. Instead, because the target supports Trump, Joy's harsh words are waved off as mere snark. To Gutfeld, it's the height of hypocrisy, and viewers agreed, flooding social media with comments about the glaring inconsistency. Ben Shapiro then seized upon Joy's bizarre defense of Kamala Harris's grin. Joy had declared that disliking Kamala's cackle indicated a deeper fear of women. But Shapiro simply pointed out that some people might just find an exceptionally loud or off-key laugh annoying. Not every critical thought about a female politician can be chalked up to bigotry. The deeper issue, Shapiro argued, is that these buzzwords, misogyny, racism, phobia, get thrown around so casually that they lose all meaning. By labeling every minor complaint as hateful, Joy and her allies shut down real debate, fostering an echo chamber where no criticism is valid unless it targets the other side. Viewers might have assumed Joy had learned to tread carefully, but she made headlines again with a startling confession about leaking at Costco. Her story: she was apparently so thrilled by Trump's legal challenges that she got overexcited in the middle of the store. Even Megyn Kelly couldn't resist ridiculing the incident, suggesting that Joy's meltdown speaks volumes about the emotional extremes people reach when it comes to Trump. According to Kelly, if a conservative admitted such a mishap, Joy would spend weeks mocking them on air. But when it's Joy herself, we're supposed to applaud it as righteous indignation. Critics found the entire episode embarrassing, and a testament to how fixated some remain on Trump long after the fact. Meanwhile, Bill Maher aimed his bigger guns at The View overall. In his eyes, the show's name suggests multiple perspectives, but the reality often feels like an echo chamber. He's particularly troubled by Joy's habit of shutting down co-hosts who stray from her preferred narrative. That friction became glaring when Alyssa Farah Griffin tried praising Karoline Leavitt's experience and intelligence, but Joy brushed her off, doubling down on her "she's a 10" remark. This, Maher believes, is the hallmark of a broader cultural problem, where political disagreements turn personal in an instant, and people forget that opposing views can coexist without name-calling. All of this boils down to a painful contradiction. Joy Behar claims to champion women's empowerment. Yet if a woman happens to stand on the other side of the aisle, she's fair game for nasty remarks that Joy would decry as sexist if someone else made them. According to Bill Maher, this is exactly why so many people find today's political atmosphere unbearable. The lines between reasoned debate and petty insults are blurred, with each camp ready to hurl accusations without a second thought. Of course, The View's audience remains fiercely loyal, even when Joy stumbles. Ratings suggest that many fans tune in precisely for these fiery moments, no matter how contradictory. Some argue that Joy's blunders keep the show in headlines, fueling viral clips and spiking engagement on social media. In that sense, Joy's controversies might be less an accident and more a strategic move, though it's unclear if this strategy serves any greater good beyond short-term buzz. Bill Maher's underlying point is that this cycle of tribalism threatens genuine discourse. If a person on your team can do no wrong, then any failings, be they shallow insults or blatant inaccuracies, get glossed over. Meanwhile, the other team gets raked over the coals for even the most trivial misstep. Joy's remarks about Karoline Leavitt's appearance made that painfully clear. If a Democratic politician had hired Leavitt, you can envision Joy praising her intelligence, her grasp of policy details, and her remarkable composure under pressure. Instead, it all got swept away in one flippant comment. For those who think the outrage over Joy's words is overblown, consider the reaction if a conservative figure had dismissed a liberal staffer by implying she was hired strictly for her good looks. The backlash would be enormous. Women's rights groups, mainstream media outlets, and Twitter activists would condemn the statement, brand the speaker sexist, and demand an apology. Yet Joy faced no significant repercussions. In fact, the story mostly simmered within conservative circles and among viewers who've grown tired of double standards. That's the kind of selective outrage Maher keeps warning about. Even beyond the talk show circuit, the larger conversation rings with the same themes. Are we past the point of no return when it comes to finding common ground? Critics like Gutfeld, Shapiro, and Maher themselves don't always align politically, but they share a unifying stance against cheap shots and empty outrage. Together, they signal a desire to pull the conversation back towards substance, where a person's merits and facts, not partisan allegiance, should matter most. Bill Maher's assertion about the one true opinion culture cuts deep. It's not just about Joy Behar or even The View. It's about a climate where public figures feel justified in dismissing any idea that doesn't mirror their own worldview. The moment disagreement surfaces, they resort to insults, labeling critics sexist, racist, phobic, or any other explosive term that shuts down dialogue. This isn't productive, and it doesn't solve the real problems voters care about. By reducing one woman to her looks and hailing another's unremarkable traits as bulletproof, Joy Behar embodies the very political hypocrisy Bill Maher decries. With Gutfeld, Shapiro, and Kelly all weighing in, the clashing perspectives reveal an unsettling reality. Manufactured outrage is profitable, even when it stifles genuine debate. Whether viewers will demand a shift toward reasoned discourse or continue savoring the spectacle remains the real, unanswered question. For more of the latest news, check out the next video.